Guys, on this episode of Close Up, I am joined by our brand new AEW World Champion, Swerve Strickland. This is just days removed of him being crowned our new champion at Dynasty. And new, here he is, Swerve Strickland, our new AEW World Champion. We've got the title here. We've got the beautiful nameplates on there.
Incredible.
Has it sunk in yet? I mean, we're just days removed of you being crowned as our new champion.
I don't think so. This is like uncharted territory, like for the company, also for me, and like for the fan base as well. The way All Elite Wrestling has just been moving from 2023 to 2024, I feel like people were waiting for something, a good feeling, a good triumph for the company, and they were looking for that in somebody. You know, I feel like everything that I went through all of 2023, the things I put my body through, the stories that were told about me, the work, the effort, the experience, the pitfalls, the Continental Classic following these things, like with myself and Hangman Page, and then coming back to Hangman Page afterwards, and like all these things, like all this turmoil, I feel like the fans were riding and following each and every one to finally see how do we close this chapter? How do we get to the mountaintop with Swerve? Because I felt like they were traveling with me.
Yeah.
So I feel like reaching it and finally achieving this, they were with me on the win as well. And what a momentous occasion, what a time.
Yes.
What a venue, what a
crowd.
What a crowd. St. Louis was amazing.
Yeah.
Like after a 4-hour show, seeing all the...
A 4-hour insane show.
An insane show, seeing all the action, seeing everything, like the locker room, just everybody, like, just motivating and pushing each other to just put on, like, another classic pay-per-view for All Elite Wrestling, but just also in the wrestling business itself, to still sit around and still have that energy for me in the main event against Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
And still, like, just... No, we're not leaving. We got a lot, but we're still not leaving till we see this finish. That meant a lot to me, so that's what this means to me.
It really does feel like there's such a shift happening in AEW right now, and with you as our new champion. What do you want this new shift to feel like and ultimately turn into?
Right now, I think the locker room is just on a whole nother, like, morale level. Everybody is, like, knows you can't, like, half step at all now. The guy next to you is Okada. The guy next to him is Pac. The guy next to him is Copeland.
Yeah.
The guy next to him is like Hobbs and Kyle Fletcher, who are hungry. The guy next to them is Daniel Garcia. The guy next to them is like the Lucha Brothers. Then the guys next to them is like Ospreay, who can just carve out a classic at the snap of his finger.
Yep.
You know, like the guys next to them are the Mogul Embassy.
Yeah.
You know, so like the depth is insane, and we haven't even gotten to the guys that haven't even really been here for like the last several months. Like we haven't had a Moxley, we haven't had a Hangman Page, a MJF, a Keith Lee, we haven't had a Kenny Omega, there's a lot of guys still here. That shift needed to happen to really fill that space and that void while these guys are still like recovering and getting through whatever they're going through and stuff. And for me to be at the top of that, there's a lot of pressure. To me, to be the first of anything, there's a lot of pressure. I can already read the comments and stuff, and like I think they're waiting to see how I respond to that. They want to see like me take that bait, but they don't understand the professionalism and the mind state I'm at this point. You know, like they want to see the cracks. They're waiting for it. Coming right off of Dynasty, going to Dynamite, it's like boom, right in the action, and like good. Like give you no room to speak.
And you've really, I mean, you talked about it in the press conference right after Dynasty about that you've already been doing the work. You've been going out, you've been doing the media, you've been throwing out those first pitches. And now you being the champion, I mean, as we were walking up here, you're kind of running me through just what your days have been like since becoming champion. How does it feel to finally be able to like step into that role after having put in all that work?
Oh, it feels like fitting into a perfect shoe that was made for you. I feel like speaking of perfect shoe.
We'll get to those shoes.
We'll get here in a second.
Put a little pin in that. We're coming back to it.
Yeah. I feel like the last 2 years, 3 years was just like, that was the preparation. Like, and it wasn't like I was being presented to do these things. It was just like, that's something I just wanted to do. I'm inspired by like Jericho having Fozzy touring and still mixing the TV, doing the Jericho, like Talk is Jericho during the shows, and all these guys have these outlets. I'm like, man, that's awesome. I want to do that. So this was all just a practice run and get like the oil and the machine and stuff. And now it's like, okay, now I'm inside the machine. The machine is here. I'm like, okay, I've been ready for this for a while because I've been doing it on my own with like my small team, my small crew, but I also have to lead that.
Yeah.
So I've been leading small crews. I've been leading these small crews in music and stuff, and I've been leading. That responsibility has been bestowed on me for the last several years. And so now it's like, okay, now we're gonna add this responsibility on top of that. Can you be here at this time? Can you be punctual? Can you say the right things with the right people? Can you make the company look good and look better? Can you, all those things?
You've got the shoulders to bear the brunt of all that responsibility by putting in that work and leading the groups around you. But I feel like a big theme of your career has also been having this chip on your shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
What are you going to do now that you've achieved all of the things? You are our world champion. You're our first Black world champion.
Yeah.
You've been able to do so many amazing things. What do we now do with this chip on your shoulder?
Yeah, I'm still not beyond being 100% petty. I just got to move in a certain direction with it now. You know what I mean? Like, every once in a while I'll still take a jab, but I'm real selective with those things.
Okay.
Just to let y'all know, I'm still watching. I still keep an eye on things. I feel like the testament for me, my story, is when things weren't always going my way and I still found a way.
Yeah.
I wasn't like, I'm the 6th round draft pick, and I'll be okay saying that sometimes. You know, sometimes I'm like, you know, I wasn't like chosen to be the guy, boom. I had to work to show not only the world, but the staff in the locker room that I can be that guy.
Yeah.
All these other things is just like, oh, maybe what I'm, like, for anybody who's watching and looking for tools and inspirations, like maybe what I'm doing right now is not getting me anywhere. Let me listen to, see his story, listen to this, maybe take his path. Maybe that's going to get me to where I need to be. And hopefully that's what my story does. And that's what I want to do. And then, like, I want to also bring these new eyes over to All Elite Wrestling, because just the fact of like them promoting the fact that they crowned their first African American world champion in All Elite Wrestling. So a lot of people are like, whoa, wow, I need to pay attention now. Just that news brings in a new fan, a new idea. So now I got to be the one to showcase why it's me. I got to be the one to showcase what is worth the investment of coming to a show.
Yeah.
There's people that are like, man, I couldn't get a ticket. Like, that's the feeling I want. You missed out. You know, don't miss out on this. Don't miss out on history. Don't miss out on Swerve. And don't miss out on All Elite Wrestling. While
you're here being able to provide so much inspiration for other people that might be looking for something to cling on to.
Absolutely.
What are some of the stuff that you're looking to for inspiration? Like outside of wrestling even, because I know that that's a big thing for you. It's not just all right here in-house.
For the longest time, I used to read a lot of books from, like, successful people. Like, fiction is, like, cool, but for me, it was all about the story of people that have done it. And what are their past? What were their pain? What was their, like, trials, tribulations to lead to their triumphs? A lot of times, we're our own worst enemy, and we can derail ourselves.
Sure, a little self-sabotage, right?
Yeah, because especially if you're stuck in situations and your surroundings, it just lowers you deeper. Reading other people's stories just lets you know you're not alone. I used to be like that too. I thought like that too, until I had to really make really tough decisions and sacrifice and understand that not everybody's going to see the world the way you see it. Not everybody's going to understand your journey and your path and your goals and your step-by-step process because they're not in your perspective. Yeah. So it's like looking outside of your own perspective, you know. For what I have to do next, I'm looking for inspirations from people that, honestly, it's my team. I'm like a Flash Garments, a Montezi, a Prophet, a Gee, you know, all these guys. I'm surrounded by great people, great, like, Black people that are doing great things that are, like, and I'm like, that's what I want to do. Yeah. How do we team up and do that? Lucas Brothers, guys are like, okay, how do we get this, what y'all have accomplished, how do we do it here? Start afresh and anew. How do we create? How do we curate? Yeah. You know, which is two different things. Like, that's where I'm inspired by. And I'm inspired by the possibility of not knowing.
Yes, you know? Absolutely. That's
I don't know
the
if it's
fun
gonna
of
work.
life, right?
Yeah, like, people are like, oh, man, he did double stomp the security. I'm like, I didn't know that was gonna work. That's the inspiration. I don't know. Yeah. And, like, fans are like, how did that happen? How do you do that kind of stuff? It's like, I don't know. I'm kind of like, that's the kind of stuff that pulls me in and wants me to, like, go down that rabbit hole, because you don't know what's at the end of it. Yeah. You know, so that's where I get my inspiration. So let's take things back to Sunday. You and Samoa Joe, talk to me just about what it meant to dethrone
Samoa Joe, a legend in this business.
A legend, a force of a champion. Out of all the champions in All Elite Wrestling, which there aren't many, we can count them on 2 hands, he was probably the biggest task out of any of them. They're all great performers. They're all legends. They're all legends in the making. But Samoa Joe just felt different. He felt like a titan. He felt like dude from House of Dragons, the Mountain.
Yeah.
What do you do to take this guy down? You know, and shouts out to him for holding it down for the last couple months, just being like the dominant champion. If I can take him down, there should be no asterisk next to my title win.
100%.
If I can take him down on my own, no help, no interference, no nothing else outside of that, people understand, like, man, this guy literally went through hell just to get here.
Yep.
Now this is the last gate he has to cross, and this guy's guarding that gate. You know, he beat the hell out of me, but I've taken whoopings all year. Last 12 months, I've taken everything, and I'm relentless. I keep getting back up. I keep going. Like, that's my life. That's my struggle. That's my story. Not everything has gone your way, but you always have to find a way to keep getting back up. You never stop going forward.
Yeah.
You can slow, you can speed up, but you never stop. And that's what got me here with Samoa Joe. I just never stop.
Talk to me about your entrance, your gear choice with the Black Panther, bringing out the jacket with Nana. Talk to me about all that stuff.
I went in my coronation ceremony. I went through a lot of pain to get to this moment. I didn't always do things the right way. I did a lot of bad things to get what I needed to get to go where I needed to go. That's like kind of mirrored and like parallel with the Killmonger. That's why I kind of resonate with that. So I'm not a hero. Like, the persona of Swerve Strickland is not a hero. He is a warrior. And warriors, from any perspective, they can be deemed as a good or bad. That's up to people to decide. Like, man, actually, he had a point. He did a lot of bad things because he had to. He had to fight and scratch and claw because nobody else was going to do it for him. He had to do it on his own. And he had to find his way. And that's what I did. And I wasn't coming to just be awarded the throne. I'm here to take it.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. And the crown jewel robe, shout out to Jimmy Rave, rest in peace. Like, it's really honorable to see the robe who has been passed through time and time again, the Ring of Honor from the embassy for the last 20 years, make it to this height. And I wanted to pay homage to that. You know, James Brown King style laying on me.
Yeah.
Like, here we are. I wanted fans and kids of all colors, all diversity, wanted to see what royalty truly looks like. And that's what that really was for me.
In the press conference after Dynasty, we talked about the shoes. You dropped that knowledge on everybody. Tell me about getting these Swerve shoes.
Yeah, right here. These are the Pressure Ones. These are not Nike. These are not Jordan. These are not Puma. These are not Adidas, Reebok. This is Pressure Ones. These are my official brand of shoe made by Mosh. If you check out his Instagram page, you can see he's done custom colorways for a lot of like pretty impressive athletes. You know,
I would say so.
You know, like he's made them for like Jay-Z. He's made them for LeBron, Steph Curry, Stephon Diggs in the NFL, Odell Beckham. I'm the first wrestler to get his own custom brand, like his own.
So cool.
Yeah, so these will be available very soon. Check my social media. We'll be displaying these. I will get you a pair because I'm telling you, you're going to walk through every airport wearing these because they are incredible.
This has been my whole thing lately is I need a good airport shoe, so
right
look
here.
it up.
During the presser, Osprey was coming up next. So I was like, threw my shoe to him, and he was like, walked around. He was like, I need a pair of these. I need like 2 pair now. I need 2 pair. I'm like, I got you, man.
Yep.
And these bottoms, they glow in the dark, actually.
Oh,
so you can check these out. They're
Love it.
comfortable. These are the exact pair I wore in the championship match, too.
They're really cool.
They
I
feel
love 'em.
great. And so they can be worn as athletic wear and just fashion. They go with any outfit.
A man that does it all, guys.
Yes.
Swerve, I could not be happier for you. I could not be more thrilled to see you leading the charge for this new wave, this new change for AEW.
Yes.
A huge congratulations to you.
Thank you.
You're a busy man, so I'll let Champ go do Champ things.
Appreciate you. And just let you know, thank you, everybody, for riding with me, following this story. I couldn't get here without you guys. Check out the Swerve City podcast that just jumped 200 slots on Apple Podcasts over the week. So thank you guys for making that happen. now top 20 in
Dang.
music interviews on Apple Podcasts. So that's thanks to you, and I appreciate you all. Thank you. Keep riding with me. We got a lot more story to tell.